Everyone's calling this the best Marvel Legends Wolverine ever, and I almost believed it. I thought the biggest issue was his height, but once I tried to copy his Marvel vs. Capcom 2 game moves, my opinion completely changed. Today, we'll settle the scale debate, reveal that missing piece that stops this Wolverine from going full Berserker Barrage as the top Wolverine ever. I'll put him head to head with the MAFEX Brown Costume Wolverine to see who really deserves the crown as the best Wolverine action figure. And of course, we'll talk about kitbash, head swaps, and whether the Silver Samurai brings anything new to the fight. By now, you probably know this Gamerverse Wolverine is the largest Marvel Legends Wolverine ever made. But just how big is he? Really, standing at 5.9 inches tall, he already looks massive besides the true 1/12 scale figures like MAFEX Psylocke and MAFEX Gambit, which makes him feel more like a 7-inch scale figure than a regular Marvel Legends. So the real question is, can he actually fit into a 7-inch scale figure display? To test that, here is the Marvel Legends Gamerverse Wolverine with the Marvel Select X-Men lineup of Psylocke, Gambit, and surprisingly, Bob doesn't look out of place at all. I don't have the Marvel Select Wolverine, but that one's listed around 6.5 to 7 inches tall, and this Gamerverse Wolverine comes really close to that height and bulk. His design comes straight from the Marvel vs. Capcom games where Wolverine was drawn more muscular and exaggerated, and that really shows here. In the comic books, Wolverine is officially 5 foot 3 inches tall, but when you convert this figure's 5.9 inch height to scale, it matches almost perfectly with the 110 or 7 inch scale, just a touch shorter. So, standing beside my Marvel Select heroes, Hulk, Psylocke, Colossus, Rogue, Gambit, Wolverine just fits fine. And when you move him over to the Marvel Select villain shelf, his arch enemy Sabretooth, Magneto, Apocalypse, and the unstoppable Juggernaut, and even the heaviest and largest Marvel Select Abomination, he actually holds his ground better than I expected. So in short, this isn't your average 6-inch scale Marvel Legends Wolverine, it's practically a 7-inch scale Wolverine that just happens to wear a Hasbro badge. The size and height actually works if you're building a Marvel vs. Capcom display, not a comic book shelf or a 6-inch scale figure shelf. Since this Wolverine is based on his Gamerverse appearance, the question is he a faithful adaptation of the Wolverine from the game? And on that front, I totally agree with everyone hyping this figure. Aesthetically, yes, absolutely. This is the best looking Marvel Legends Wolverine Hasbro has ever done for the Marvel vs. Capcom Gamerverse. Well, technically, it's the only Gamerverse Wolverine ever made so far, so yeah, undefeated by default. Until SH Figuarts decides to drop their own version, which I'm already predicting will dethrone Hasbro's version faster than you can say Berserker Barrage. But looks aside, can it move like the game? This is where things go from best ever to oh no? And when I say oh no, don't panic. I don't mean it bad, it's just disappointing. Just like what I said about Sabretooth and his big head, and Ghost Rider, which is still on sale in Amazon after a year, so go get him. Amazon Prime Day deal, link in the description below. Well, going back to what I meant by disappointing, you know that feeling when you see all the potential, but Hasbro just didn't maximize it? Yeah, that's the Gamerverse Wolverine. Now, like any modern Wolverine, this figure looks like it has a butterfly joint. But looks can deceive, right? The range is minimal. Actually, scratch that, it's negligible. You can't swing his arm far back or bring them fully forward. Remember that iconic Wolverine's Marvel vs. Capcom entrance taunt? When he crosses his arms and pops the claws and says, "Let's go, Bob." This Gamerverse Wolverine can kinda of do that, but not fully. He's not maximum Wolverine, he's minimum Wolverine. Ironically, the older X-Men 97 Wolverine pulls that pose off better. Not perfect, but better. He's got the proper butterfly joints and double-jointed pinless elbows. Meanwhile, Hasbro takes a step back with the Gamerverse Wolverine, giving him only single-jointed elbows and what I call an invisible butterfly joint. They're technically there but only visible to the imagination. Confession time. I once defended Hasbro for not giving double-jointed elbows to muscle monsters like Hulk and Wolverine. I said it made sense because it only added minimal articulation. But after testing the Gamerverse Wolverine, just forget what I said. Even minimal, Wolverine needs his double-jointed elbows, period. Now, I'll try to earn back my brownie points from Hasbro. Props to Hasbro for the upper torso swivel. It's an upgrade. It's smoother than a standard ab crunch and I like that flexibility. But Hasbro, come on, you already proved you can combine a torso swivel and an ab crunch. Just look at your Maximum Series Spider-Man. Instead, here you decided to remove both the fun and potential. But Hasbro's smarter than that. Maybe Hasbro's saving that for the inevitable $50 Maximum Series Wolverine. You know what is Maximum though? The MAFEX Brown Suit Wolverine. My personal pick for the best 1/12 scale Wolverine ever. And yes, that's a figure from 2021. So we're comparing a seasoned veteran to Hasbro's newly minted 2025 Gamerverse Wolverine. Sadly, the old MAFEX still wins. Like a fine wine, it's only gotten better with time. MAFEX is so good that CT Toys made a bootleg version, and if you've handled either, you'll instantly understand why this MAFEX body still reigns supreme. Honestly, Medicom Toy could re-release and repaint the same MAFEX mold and call it Gamerverse Wolverine, and nobody would complain. They just did it with Gambit as an X-Men 97 variant, so why not this guy? Trying out the Let's Go Bob stance with the MAFEKISU, that's MAFEX pronounced in Japanese, the Medikomu Toy MAFEKISU Wolverine nails it perfectly. Hasbro's Gamerverse, let's just say he's still getting ready to go, like warming up, bub. The premium articulation of Hasbro, or the lack of it, really surprised me. But what astonished me even more was this figure's head swap potential. So let's start strong with the Astonishing X-Men Wolverine unmasked head. I've always felt that this head was a little too large for the astonishing body. Maybe it's the forehead. Well, Hasbro does reuse molds, so maybe that's the reason why the heads are bigger. Shout out Sabretooth. But on the Gamerverse Wolverine body, it actually works. The proportion feels right. Maybe the bulkier frame balances it out. Now, for the masked Astonishing X-Men Wolverine, it's too small. I don't recommend it. Another solid option is the X-Men 97 unmasked head. It fits surprisingly well. Doesn't look tiny at all. Again, big heads by Hasbro. Maybe Logan's wild hair just fills the silhouette perfectly. Speaking of the X-Men 97 figure, one of the reasons it still is one of the best Marvel Legends Wolverine ever is the masked head sculpt. Those razor-sharp 90s fins, that aggressive bro, pure Saturday morning nostalgia. Combine that sharp design with this bulkier Gamerverse body, and you got 9 reasons to start a new shelf, with Nightcrawler and this wrestler-built Wolverine leading the charge. Credit where due, Paul Harding has delivered some of the best Wolverine head sculpts ever for Hasbro. I did some mix and match in my Lumberjack Wolverine review, hope you check that one out, so I'll try some of them here. The beaten up head from the Amazon exclusive Wolverine and Villains 5-pack, a classic, tired, worn out Logan, fits great here. The screaming head from the Extreme X-Men Wolverine, which is a repaint of the same sculpt used in the 5-pack and the Hot Claws Wolverine. The stoic head from the Retro X-Men Team Suit Wolverine, simple but effective for a more relaxed look. Even though Hasbro didn't include any alternate heads with this Gamerverse Wolverine, and they absolutely should have, he only has an alternate pair of hands. At least, the older Wolverine heads fit fine on this Gamerverse body. From the Lady Mandarin 2-pack, Here's the unmasked head standing next to the best Psylocke ever. The Marvel Legends Gamer version, that is. If we can turn back time, shout out to Cher, let's give Logan an eye patch. This is what he looks like now. How about a cowboy hat? Sure, here's your Outback Gamerverse Wolverine. And for fun, the Secret Wars unmasked head, which honestly gives me one of the most indescribable facial expressions ever sculpted. The masked Secret Wars head though, that's the one that's really good, and it fits the Gamerverse body like it was meant for it. One of my favorite combinations though is the Battle Damage head from the Love Triangle 3-pack. That's the one where Wolverine had bone claws, so naturally I had to try those bone claws out here too. The only issue, they're a bit small, so you get a visible gap between the hand and the wrist. Plus, the dark blue fist from the bone claw set does not quite match the Gamerverse suit shade. The closest match for color is actually from the X-Men 97 Wolverine, but as Hasbro admitted in their livestream, whenever they make a new version of a character, the color shades never match. Not the skin, not the costume, it's basically guaranteed. So out of all this, which head swap is your favorite? Let me know down in the comments below. This is the Gamerverse head on the Secret Wars brown costume Wolverine body. If you found this review helpful so far, hope you give it a hype, like, subscribe, and share this with your friends. For places where the figures in this review might still be available, I left some links in the description below.
I'm Juggernaut!
This is a 2-pack review, not a solo figure. So let's shift gears to the other half. By the power of Grayskull, he is Silver Samurai. That Marvel vs. Capcom Silver Samurai move, that must be based on He-Man, right? From afar, he looks like a repaint, but if you look up close, he's quite different from the retro Silver Samurai. And of course, that's because his shoulder pads keeps on falling off. I like my figures having a lot of sculpted costume details, and the new one has less. The design of the Gamerverse helmet is slightly different from the retro. You can see the colors of red is different, wherein the new one has somewhat a brighter type of color. Also the eyes. I like how the old retro has that eyes that are blacked out, while in terms of facial expression, the new Silver Samurai has the better facial expression. He has a battle angry facial expression, unlike the old Silver Samurai, which is quite zen, like relaxed. So in terms of the armor, I like this armor from the retro. There is a layered adamantium chest armor, and it's held also by this like ropes around it. It's all sculpted. Unlike this one, it only has this red sun. It's sculpted on as well, and it's actually game accurate. The same is true for the belt. There are extra sculpted details on the older Silver Samurai, unlike this new one, which is more simple looking. The retro Silver Samurai shoulder pads are attached permanently to the figure, unlike the new one, which is removable and of a different design. Everything else, it's a reuse repaint. The arms are the same, they're just in a different shade of gray color. Double jointed elbows with pins, double jointed knees with pins. The retro Silver Samurai has this armor piece covering his back as well. The white rope is sculpted, and the other things here on the armor is sculpted. This is a bare back. Also, this guy has a knife or a samurai sheath. If I was not trying to complete the Hasbro Gamerverse line, I really don't need this Silver Samurai, because the old retro one, it's still better. It has a lot of sculpted costume details, and the shoulder pads are not removable. There is no new alternate hands. You still get the old retro weapon holding hands that can hinge up and down. Maybe the other accessories will encourage you to pick this one up. The new Gamerverse Silver Samurai has one sword with a translucent blue blade, and it's the same as the other long sword, which is in silver, but the old retro Silver Samurai has another shorter sword. The new Gamerverse Silver Samurai has this nicely translucent blue-purple type of lighting effect that you can attach to his sword, while the old one does not have any effect pieces like this. But you can perform a kitbash using the new effects on his old swords. Since the mold of the swords are identical, you can simply attach the new sword to the side of his belt. Not adding butterfly joints was such a missed opportunity for Hasbro because Silver Samurai cannot hold the sword two-handed just like how he does it in the game. But Hasbro was generous enough to include this translucent orange ninja star, which is his effect piece, to recreate that shuriken move. There is only one, but sometimes in the game he can throw out multiples of this star. It is still a big improvement because if you think about it, Silver Samurai has two effects, one for his sword and one translucent ninja star. Articulation is limited for Silver Samurai. He can move his head from side to side, cannot look up because of his helmet, can do a full 360 but the shoulder pads get removed, bicep swivel, double jointed elbows with pin, wrist can swivel, hinge up and down, it's a sword holding hand. He has an upper torso swivel which is great improvement, can crunch backward, crunch forward. He has a waist swivel but it's hindered by this thing on his waist. Cannot do a split because of that thing again. He can kick forward a little because of that thing. He has a upper thigh swivel, double jointed knees with pins, cannot kick back towards back, kick forward, boot cut right here, feet can hinge forward and back, and has an ankle rocker. Going back to the main man of this Marvel Legends Gamerverse 2-pack, it's Wolverine, and you can see it's a brand new body mold. He's larger than older Wolverines. The fins of his mask is exaggerated, just like how he was drawn in the comic books. X-Men 97 has a greater range in terms of the butterfly joint, unlike Gamerverse, which is negligible as mentioned a while ago. The old one has an ab crunch, the new one has the improved upper torso swivel. The design of his underpants is similar, wherein you have that extra piece that is in the legs. He has the same type of articulation for the legs, except the old one has a boot cut right here. The new one does not have this boot cut. Such a missed opportunity for a new mold. His claws are exaggerated and he has single jointed elbows. X-Men 97 has double jointed pinless elbows and some sculpted up hairlines. Unlike this new one, those are printed on hair. For the new Gamerverse Wolverine, there are no sculpted hair details on his arms. Hasbro was really trying to make this new Gamerverse Wolverine look nice by removing this type of shoulder pad that is attached to the arm. This one is not attached to the arm, so when you perform a swivel right here, you can adjust this according to the position that you want. It's attached to the torso and not the arm. Another thing that I noticed is in order for this new Wolverine to look up, they added a large gap right there. From the back, X-Men 97 has maximum articulation for his butterfly joint because of that large cut, unlike this one which is almost negligible. Gamerverse Wolverine comes with a total of 4 hands. These are the alternate hands, which is a pair of closed fist hands. These hands can hinge forward and back. He comes with 2 impressive long slash effects for his claws. They have some wash of translucent blue and you can plug it into this stand. It's hard for one stand to carry both, so you need 2 of them. Hasbro gave this maximum effort because it is as tall as Maximum Series Deadpool at 6-inch tall. One thing I realized is when connecting these two, you need to be careful because it needs to fit on the right spot So when you try to form an X, let's try to push it in. Since I have a tendency to break figures in a review, that also includes effects, I almost bent this out of place, almost snapping. Luckily, it's bendable, I guess, so it can bend back to its shape. That only means you're connecting it the wrong way, so connect it the other way. You are supposed to hear a snap, hopefully not a breaking snap. So it should peg in the middle, so you can attach it like proper X. But you can also attach it a little bit higher because there's another peg on top. So let's try it out. Probably a higher slash or slashing down low. That's what it's gonna look like. You can attach the stands. For this type of big effect, you really need 2 stands. So only one player can use the power effect. Silver Samurai will just have to take a hit. He won't be able to fire his shuriken. One thing I noticed is when Wolverine performs his Berserker Barrage, his hands are not actually closed fist, it's open palm. So I wish Hasbro included open palm claws out hands for this figure. The best Marvel Legends Wolverine can move his head from side to side easily, can look up that high, cannot look down that much, arms can extend that far, negligible butterfly joints, can do a nothing, full 360 right here. He has a bicep swivel, single jointed elbows, but he can still punch his face like that with that single joint. Wrist can swivel, can hinge forward and back. He does not have an ab crunch, but he has a upper torso swivel that can crunch forward that far, crunch back that far. You can see a gap right there. He has a waist swivel hidden behind his belt, can do a split, really good. Upper thigh swivel, double jointed pinless knees, can kick far back, can kick forward. Feet can hinge forward and back and has an ankle rocker. The new Marvel Legends Gamerverse Wolverine is 15 centimeters or 5.9 inches tall, and he won't match his comic book height. Next up is Silver Samurai, who is 16.8 centimeters or 6.6 inches tall. He is actually spot on to his comic book height at 6 feet 6 inches. Marvel Legends 6-inch scale size comparison with other Gamerverse figures I covered here in the channel. Just like this Wolverine review, I recreated their Marvel vs Capcom style attacks for accuracy. You can watch the full Psylocke vs Thanos and War Machine vs Omega Red reviews after this one, both packed with those game-inspired poses. I finally completed X-Men 97 Wave 3 reviews of Emma Frost, Lumberjack Wolverine, Cable, Sunspot, Jubilee, and Morph. X-Men 97 Love Triangle of Jean Grey, Cyclops, and Wolverine. Besides Silver Samurai is X-Men 97, Nightcrawler, Rogue, and Magneto. A familial size comparison with Daken X-23. For Silver Samurai, it would be Sunfire. So you can see whether Gamerverse Wolverine will fit in with 6-inch scale comic book characters, Jubilee, Rogue, Cyclops, and Jean Grey. Besides older version of themselves, from the Love Triangle 3-pack, Wolverine, from the Uncanny X-Men Retro, Silver Samurai. For some Maximum Series size comparison, Maximum Series Deadpool, Maximum Series Spider-Man, Maximum Series Duke, Maximum Series Hulk. Boss Fight Studio Epic Hacks Red Sonja, Executive Replicas and Loose Collector Red Sonja. I have a comparison review of these two in my channel. And of course, it won't be a Juggernaut Collectibles review without Darna, Philippines version of Wonder Woman by Halimo Sculptures and Loose Collector. And also beside her is Anak ni Janice, Chanak, or the Crips Baby Monster, also by Loose Collector. And it also glows in the dark. 6-inch scale Jada Toy Street Fighters, Ryu, Sagat, Kami, Blanca, and Chun-Li. Just to see which scale Wolverine fits in, here is a 1/12 scale versus 7-inch scale size comparison. MAFEX Gambit, Marvel Select Gambit, MAFEX Psylocke, and Marvel Select Psylocke. Marvel Legends 6-inch scale versus Marvel Select 7-inch scale, Rogue from the Juggernaut Build-A-Figure wave, Marvel Select Rogue. Marvel Legends Sabretooth from the 50th Anniversary 2-pack, and the Marvel Select Sabretooth. Marvel Legends Apocalypse Build-A-Figure and Marvel Select Apocalypse. Marvel Legends Juggernaut Build-A-Figure and the Marvel Select Juggernaut. Maximum Series Hulk and the Diamond Select Toys Marvel Select Immortal Hulk or Rampaging Hulk. I'm glad though without Marvel Select 7-inch scale figures, Hasbro Marvel Legends has started making larger figures. Here is a size comparison of a regular Marvel Legends Venom and the huge $60 Gamerverse Venom. This is in the box collector friendly because there is a window you can see the figure and all of its accessories. Bottom Wolverine vs Silver Samurai by Hasbro. On the side is Wolverine and a product render. On the other side is Silver Samurai and a product render of Silver Samurai. On top, Gamerverse. And at the back is a product render and a short read up. Pause it right now if you want to have a read. Some warning, legalities. And at the bottom is a consumer info and the barcode. Recycled because Hasbro recycles too, you know. Unboxing Marvel Legends series Wolverine vs Silver Samurai. They come with 2 plastic trays. At the back is a generic game background. First tray, Wolverine, Silver Samurai's effects, and some alternate hands for Wolverine. The second tray contains the 2 slash effects of Wolverine and 2 stands. So, after all that, does the new Marvel Legends Gamerverse Wolverine fit better with 6-inch scale or 7-inch scale figures? Based on everything we've tested, from articulation, scale, and sculpt, the answer really depends on your collection style. If you're building a Marvel vs Capcom display, this is the Wolverine to go for. It's the only Gamerverse Wolverine we have right now until SH Figuarts eventually releases their own version, and they will, because this character is too iconic not to. This one, for now, is your best pick. But, if you mainly collect comic-based Marvel Legends, you can probably skip it unless you want what many collectors are calling the best-looking Marvel Legends Wolverine to date. Personally, I got too many Wolverines in my collection already, and I'm not even a die-hard Wolverine fan. But if you want to see just how deep the rabbit hole goes, I made a full Wolverine playlist. Check it out in the top right corner of your screen. Thanks for watching, Bob, and I hope you enjoyed the comparisons and experiments in this review. I hope you give it a hype, like, share, and subscribe for more Marvel Legends deep dive, kit bashes, and scale debates. I hope to see you in the next one.